My name is Laura. I've been part of this team, of this family, of this movement for the past 10 years. And in 10 years, I can say that I have pretty much done everything that can be done as far as doing things. I'm the legal coordinator for the companies, which is a lot more exciting than I thought it would be when I finished law school, particularly here. I'm part of the management team. I'm a teacher in the trainings that we do. I'm part of the retreat team, generally taking care of the integration, which is the part in which, as we explain it, we use the spoken word as a tool for self-discovery. I do a lot of translations, generally in English or sometimes French, and I cook. That's actually one of the things that I love doing the most in retreats, is taking care of the cooking. I would say that is simply a gathering of people who, like me, we found each other through initially looking to find ourselves. And slowly that's how the whole team from Inner Mastery was conformed. People who, for their own reasons, started by going to a retreat for themselves as a participant, connected or discovered something that felt precious, significant, important, unique, and then decided to turn that experience into a life path. And slowly, bit by bit, puzzle piece by puzzle piece, this whole team of close to 60 people has been created over the course of the past 10 years through people who simply arrived. I heard about ayahuasca many, many years ago. I was back then 2010 living in the United States, and a friend of mine went to take ayahuasca, and then she shared her experience with me because she was going through a heavy breakup. Then basically I spent the next 4 years simply procrastinating, simply saying that I wanted to do that but never doing it. Then another friend with whom I'd traveled quite a bit and did some different psychotherapeutic trainings. She had started going to Peru every year for 2 weeks to take ayahuasca in the jungle, and she kept inviting me to go with her, and I kept saying yes, but at the end no. Basically 4 years of procrastination, until one day the same friend, she was living in Switzerland, I was living in Switzerland, I suppose she texted me back then, or WhatsApped me, I don't remember, and said to me, well, there's a retreat that's taking place in Zurich. It's 2 hours away from where you live. It's 1 hour away from where I live. We were going to get together anyway this weekend, so I know you have no other plans. I've already booked my place. What are you going to do? And to be very honest, I thought about all the reasons why I couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I absolutely not in my plans for the weekend. And I had actually just started a very, I don't even know how to call it, ortho something regime to heal this, that, and the other. So it was a very strict diet. And I thought, no, how can I go? I can't go to a retreat because I have to do this juice and then this blend and then this other thing. And then somehow, I suppose, by accident, miracle, or synchronicity, I caught myself that I was continuously bluffing. And I said to myself, either you admit that you're not going to do this, or you do it. So I got on the train with my juicer, my blender, big, one of those really big juicers with tons of bits and pieces, and all the juices and all the things that I had to blend, because of course it was very strict. And I took everything with me to the retreat, and what a weekend. Yeah. What a weekend. The founder of this organization, Alberto, was still doing Inner Revolution retreats back then. So he was there hosting the retreat, initiating the retreat with his 4-year-old daughter, who is now 14 or 15, and with his eldest son, Eliane, and a bunch of lovely people, some of which I'm still in touch. Not with my friend, though, coincidentally. And the first night was pretty mild, so I thought myself that I'd gone through that quite nicely without having to, let go of control or anything scary like that. And then the integration the next day was amazing, and I was blending and juicing my stuff, and the group of people was lovely, and the place was lovely. And my friend asked me, how did it go, and blah, blah. And then she said, you've not had the experience yet. Wait until tonight. And wow, boy, that night was everything and nothing and all at once, and sort of like the meeting point of everything that I had done in, I would say, the past 8 years of my life, therapy and healing and spiritual work-wise. Everything sort of came together in that one night, and yeah, I felt that I wanted to be part of that movement. So I went to the founder, the director, and I said, I want to be part of your team. I want to work with you. I want to do these retreats in southern Spain. I know this place, it's Tarifa, it's amazing. And he was just typing on his laptop, looked at me over the rim of his glasses and said, yeah, yeah. And that was that. But then we stayed in touch, and then he called me once because he needed a translator. So I went to the translator and I said, I'm never going to facilitate, I'm never going to integrate, I'm just going to do translation. And well, next thing I know, 10 years have gone past, and here I am, still doing translations on occasion and many other things. My favorite part of the retreat is certainly the end of the retreat. But let me let me explain why. I see people when they arrive to the retreat and how they arrive with this mixture of trepidation and excitement and nervousness and even a little bit of mistrust and what's this and who are these people and what they're going to do to me. Will they be selling my organs? Is this a sect? Yeah, this is going to be the best night of my life. I'm going to connect with God knows what. And they come presenting themselves through some form of identity, some form of mask, some form of persona that they've created to appear in society, to show themselves to others, to interact. And it's beautiful to see throughout the retreat how that part, which I can call perhaps icier, an icy part, a hardened part, starts to slowly thaw and gently melt, and then slowly the mask starts to slip. And the beautiful part of the retreat when it ends is that people have gone from being icy to being water, to being fluid, to really allowing for things to pour out of themselves. And in general, the most beautiful feeling, emotion, sensation, almost energy that is everywhere at the closure of a retreat is gratitude. And I find that gratitude is possibly the most heartwarming, divine, elevated, and extraordinary sensation in the world when you feel your heart full of gratitude, and that gratitude is vibrating through every word, in the people's eyes, in everything they say, in how they touch each other, in how they hug each other, in how they thank everything around them. So yeah, the end of the retreat is my favorite part. The integrative approach that we have in our retreats is, I would call it integrative and transcendent. Integrative in the sense that it's not focused only to the spiritual, the divine, the potential, and the beauty, the truth, and love. But it's not focused only on the wound, the limitation, the conditioning, the trauma, your father, your mother, what happened, what didn't happen. It takes both parts. It allows you to connect and work on that which limits you, on your conditioning, on that trauma, on that wound, on that history, without ever forgetting that that is not what defines you as a human being in any way, and that within that conditioning there is also the divine potential of infinite possibilities. But it doesn't really stop there either, because it doesn't only contemplate the person, the I, the soul, or the being, but also in the us, the interconnection, the interdependency, the way in which we're not only individuals, but both the part and all at once and at the same time. So something interesting that happens every time that I receive a request for information form, because every day we receive so many people who leave us their contact details because they want to come to the retreat, or they're interested in getting information, and I never see a phone number. I never see a name or an email address. Whenever it arrives, what I connect to is a human being. The fact that behind that number, that name, that email address, that whatever technology that brought that to me is a human being that's, well, a human being, not a phone number. And a person who's looking for something, who's searching for something, who has a curiosity or an inquiry or something, a little flame that's a light inside of them, even if they're contacting because they're in the worst moment of their lives. They're not contacting because they're in the worst moment of their lives. They're contacting because somewhere within them there is a flame telling them that there is a way out.